Hi everyone, it's Diane. Welcome back to my channel, Scrapbooking Creations. Today I'm going to continue with some hope and kindness. I love this paper. It is so amazing. And I am going to do the last of these family portraits that I took in 2011. Actually, I took some, my daughter took some. The camera was set to auto take some. So it just depends on which photos. But I've decided that these are all going to go in my photo book. And it's kind of a tough decision for me, only because I hadn't intended to do a photo book for me. But I think that that's the fairest way to do it since kind of after the kids graduated, or, well, when they were in college, I did take some pictures, but more I'm going to stick with after they got married. That was probably the last book I officially did for them by the year. Aside from that, I've just kind of, I've got some Christmas pictures, and then I've got, of course, I've got the grandkids and stuff, and so I'll be doing their books. But these pictures are kind of more for me. So it was one of those things where I was like, well, since I have these, I think I'd like to have an album just with maybe our family pictures, or maybe I'll choose some special Christmas pictures or something and put them in there, or Easter, if because I do take pictures usually at Easter, aside from this last year where I didn't really take much. Um, but yeah, no, it's a kind of difficult one on some levels because of the fact that I just hadn't planned to do an album for me. I was going to redo my wedding album, and that was pretty much it. So, yeah, I'm working through this. I'm working through this process because I really wanted to do these pictures, but I didn't have a place for them. And so, honestly, I think I'm going to treat myself, which is, it's good. And if you have lots of books for yourself, I think that's amazing. I just barely can do what I'm doing. So hopefully, with everything that's going on, with me doing a video a day and that type of thing, that I will be able to eventually have more of these albums done for myself, which is great. Sorry, I noticed that I had torn a petal on that flower. Let's see, I'll pull it back over here, right here, when I was taking it off of the sheet. And so I decided, since I had extras, I was going to uh, take that for me. Okay, so I'm going to work on the right hand side first. Oh, actually, I'm going to tell you what I'm using. Crazy. I'm using this pretty paper. I'm so excited. This was one of my goals today. I think it's actually supposed to go more this way, but it is kind of generic, and I'm covering up some, so I'm not going to worry too much. Okay, so the Sage Coordinating Cardstock, I am using 2 of those at 8.5 by 11 1/4. I I really have to get a bunch more of this. I love this paper. The Sage Floral pattern, I've got 5.5 by 11 1/4. And then on the other side, I did throw some adhesive out there. I have 6 by 8.5. Okay. And then Pine Coordinating Cardstock, I have 2 1/4 inches, 1/4 inch by 8.5. Wow, that felt like a tongue twister. Then I have 2 1/4 by 8.5, and that's going to go over on that side. And then over here, I have 2 1/4 by 10, and I flagged the end. And because I wanted this to be not kind of a severe flagging, I kind of just cut up and then I cut it, and it was a little too pointy, and so then I cut it again. So it was just a little more subtle. It's not perfect, but I don't I don't mind that. I mean, I'm sure you already know that if you've been watching my videos. I put things on Cricut, and I don't mind a little bit of not perfection. And sometimes being able to accept that is such a strong positive, because not everything is going to be perfect. And yes, I will be the first to tell you when I notice a mistake I make. I am there to point it out at every turn. Constantly see it, but at the same time, I'm human, and that's okay. So, sorry, get off of that. So then I did my photo mats, and technically this one right here is a photo mat, and this one is a photo mat as well. But I have it in the pine. I'm assuming that this is the pine because it doesn't, the harbor is darker. Let me grab the, I had to put everything back in like bags just to kind of sort it out. So let's see here. This is the harbor. And then this is this one. So I'm assuming out of the colors that this is the pine. It doesn't say evergreen on the coordinating papers. Let me grab one of the zip strips. I still really like this zip strip, but it hasn't fit yet. So coordinating colors are desert rose, harbor, nectarine, papaya, peach, pine, sage, Sundance, toffee, and white daisy. Okay, so my guess is that this is pine. Okay, so I have 2 of these at 3 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I have one at technically 5 by 7. So it's a little different of a size. I took this picture. It was a full sheet with 2 on it that we had. I think Lizzie had edited the photo to make it look perfect for us, and so I'm using that one. And it was one that she'd edited. Now I had a bunch of pictures. So like in this one, Jason's putting little rabbit ears behind Lizzie. Here he's putting it behind me. But I had a bunch of different pictures and I wanted to use them. And so some of them are us as a group, some of them are individual. Like this is Derek individual, this is Miranda individual, and this is Jason individual. But some of these, oh, and this one is another one of Miranda individual, are this is one I didn't choose, but it was a really good picture of the 2 of them. Like this one right here, we were, I want to say, having like a butt wipe fight or baby wipe fight, as some people prefer to call them. I was wiping at Miranda's mouth just to make sure she didn't have any gooeyes on her for the picture. And it ended up turning into kind of a, I don't know, like a little just fight that we were having, but not a bad fight. It was a good, just a war. And which is, those are both very negative words, and this was not a negative process. And then Jace was tickling me, and there was just a ton. We were just having a good time. Like right here, this is part of me over here, and I'm moving to the side because he's tickling my side. So we had a really good time. And I wanted to include some of those in here, but not all of them. So this was the way I could do it. I've got 2 by 2 photos here and 2 by 2 photos here, and I will show you where they're going to go. So I'm going to get to scrapping on this. Oh, the flowers are cut in white daisy. The flower pattern is on the cut file, and the leaves are on the cut file. I really like these leaves that I found. I just searched for leaves, but these have a little bit of a jagged edge, and I thought that was kind of cool. The other thing I'm using today is some of the die cuts off the die cut sheet, these little pieces. So we'll see how those go in the end. I'm not exactly sure. I laid them down and I thought they looked pretty cool, but they might not be. And I don't ever trust my trimmer fully unless I am cutting opposite. That might make no sense to you, but basically when I'm cutting out paper, in fact, I will, let's see, what could I show you on? Let me grab a sheet of craft and I will show that real quick, just so you kind of understand when I say this. So instead of putting my paper, and here, I'll show you, clear over here to 11 1/4, like this, and then cutting that much off, instead, I line it up on the 1/4 over here, and I cut that, okay? And then the same thing for the 8 1/2. I don't line it up here. Instead, I take it to 3 1/2 and I trim it. And what I find is I get a truer cut just because of the fact that I'm using this piece right here and this piece as my guide. When I'm cutting 5x7s, let me grab another sheet. I do have quite a bit of this, so I'm okay to do this. I will take and use the same type of fields, and I will line this up with the 5, and I will use this piece for the 7. And then I will take that out, and I will take this to here, and I will line that up with the 7 and cut down. And then I have 1. And then I'll turn the page again, and I'll cut up, and there's 2. And then this last cut, I line it up at 5, and that's where I get the last 2. And so then I've got 4 5x7s. But that's kind of my way of cutting the paper. Instead of using this bit over here, sometimes I'll use it just to kind of measure and see if I'm close. But here I get a true cut. Over here, it seems like it goes a little wonky. So, sorry, just thought I would share that because sometimes, like this one is when I hand cut instead of using the file. And so I left it a little long because I wasn't getting a true size out of it. I just didn't have a lot of time to go and look at it. And I was like, I'll just finish, cutting that. So I cut it close, and then I just, like you saw, I finished cutting it here, which works for me. Might not work for you, but that is something that really works for me. Okay, I'm going to do this kind of backwards. I was going to put the pictures on it, but I think I want to put this on the paper first. And I probably should grab my ruler that I set out. Where did I set it at? No, there it is. It's underneath the paper. Oh, I've got a lot of stuff on my desk. But that's how I roll. Just lots and lots of stuff. So the amount that's left here is, let's start that, is 3 inches. And this is 2 1/4. So we have, oh my gosh, 3/4 of an inch. So I only want about 3/8 or 3/4, yeah, about 3/8 for each side. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I want to place it and then line it up and put this down. Let's make sure, oops, before I secure, let's line that up at the edge of the paper. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay. So there we go. And then I didn't have a rhyme or reason at first for these. I put Miranda at the top because I liked her smile there. It's just her slight smile, like I'm participating, I'm humoring you guys. Uh-oh, where did I? There it is. And normally I would go in age order. I tend to try to do that because it's the most fair. I don't like to play favorites with my kids. Growing up, there was some inequalities that I dealt with as a child that weren't, it was just circumstances. When I was little, there wasn't as much money. When my sister was little, because we're quite age different apart, there was a lot more money. And so there was just different things. But I decided that I didn't like that feeling that not necessarily that I felt like my parents needed to spend a bunch of money on me. Um, how do I say this politely? Because honestly, it's their money. They can do it whatever they want. I just didn't like the feeling I felt at certain times. And it was after going school clothes shopping. My mom and I would not agree to certain things. She wouldn't talk to me about it. And so sorry, I'm using this as a therapy session. And so just some of the things that happened, I just decided early on that when I had kids that it wasn't going to be that way. They were all going to be equal. And so at this point, the only thing I ever feel guilty about is the fact that I don't get to see my Oregon grandbabies as much as my Colorado. So I do tend to buy a little more for them because because I'm already spending money and time here. So I do try to make it as fair as possible. But yeah, no, normally I would go in age order, positive, negative, or older, younger, younger, older, that type of thing. But this one, I switched them up because of the fact that we have Derek here, who is Lizzie's husband at this point. And Allie's not married to John, nor did John come on that trip. Had he came, of course he would have been in these photos. I don't think that they were engaged at this time, but at the same time, I try to be fair. And so I hope you took what I said and don't think poorly of me, because I'm perfectly fine. I have a wonderful life. I've had a wonderful life. I just, every once in a while, there is some things, that I try to do a little different than my parents. And I think we all do that. I think we all see things that our parents taught us that maybe we didn't feel was the right way to teach us something. I am so going to mess those up. Okay, let's see here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. I will say I've gotten a lot straighter since I got this ruler. No, kids are amazing and so funny, because my girls would never even think that I would do something unequal, which is nice. I appreciate that. Especially after we had Panda with her disabilities. I know that a couple people in the family had came to me and said, don't treat your other kids differently, which I think Miranda kind of got the crap end of the stick on that one, because we treated her just like the other kids and expected the same things out of her that we would have expected out of any kid, which I think is what gave her the ability to excel more than they ever told us she would. But yeah, she had consequences. There was a time though for a little while, because she's the youngest, so she had a bad case of thinking she was the pretty princess, and we had to kibosh that really quick, because I was the only princess in the house. Let's see here. I'm not sure this is going to work. I'm hoping. Oh, and you know what? I want to leave that on there. Oops. Oops. Okay. We guess we aren't, because I want one flat and I want one popped, because I really like that look. I like the different layers, like the feel of it. I like it when just kind of crimp the flowers, and it just gives that texture. Oh, the center here, let me see if I can find it. I set it aside so I could definitely show it, because I don't believe I showed it yesterday. Here it is this paper, this yellow. It's on the back of the pink. I like this Sundance as the flower centers. It's got a little tiny bit of a pattern to it, and so that's always really nice to have. Okay, so on this one, I want to take a pop tape here, and I think I want that flower. Let's see here. Maybe down a little bit. There we go. Oops. Right here. And then I want to get a glue dot. This is kind of a mixed adhesive one, because I just want all of the centers to be the same. Different layers for the flowers, but the same for the centers. Got a little bit of adhesive there. Okay, and then let's put this little guy. Oops, I need the leaf. Okay, let's grab you. And let's attach you here. How do I want that? I was playing with these earlier, and I wasn't for sure how I wanted to go with the flowers. Seems to be my norm. Like, okay, we'll just wing it later. That's never good. But I did pull out all my pop tapes, oops, so that I could play. Okay, I've got a glue dot partial on my finger. I'm gonna kind of put that there. And that one, I think I'm gonna add a little bit of glue just to be safe. Even though that is sticky, there is that paper difference between the bottom and the top. I just really like that flower. And I like that it's a smaller circle. I did punch these with my, let's see, 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch punches. I did not put circles on the cut file, but I can if, you know, I'll try to remember to put them up there. And then let's grab this one. Oops. I feel like these are wasteful, but I love them. But the plastic's going into the trash, and that's never good. I just kind of want these to kind of stick in different places and not have rhyme or reason with that so that it doesn't look intentional. This is an area where I thought I could just be a little more haphazard, except that it's, you know, intentional, of course. Okay. Yeah, I think I really like that. I don't like the fact that there's a little bit of adhesive right there, but we'll work with that later. Okay, so this one and this one, I was thinking in here. Oh, I like that. I really like that. This die cut sheet, so I did pull them off of both of them, and I pulled 1 heart off of here and 2 hearts off of the other sheet. I'm so glad I got a few sheets of this. And this is another thing, I might grab a few more of these because all of these pieces are so universal. It doesn't just have to be for this set. There's just so many different things. And if you don't like the plaid, flip it over. You know, the hello is the one you can't really flip over, and the sweet, but I mean, the sweet doesn't have any writing. The hello is the only one that does. All of these others you could flip over and use them however you want to if they don't work for you the way that they are. See, they're just reverse on the back. Yeah, this is a really cool set. If you have not thought about this one as an option, I recommend it. Again, I'm leaving them in the package as long as possible because my goodness, they are going to go everywhere. Oh, I cleaned up my office today. I was so proud of myself. I'm going to trim that a little bit. I had a pile. In fact, I sent Nancy a picture of it so I can show you guys. This is what my desktop looked like when I went through all of the stuff I had. All the kits I've worked on lately and haven't had time. There's from the penguin set. I cut photo mats all morning. It was so, oh, it was so healing. I mean, it just felt good to get that stuff put away. I always love a good clean out. So I did that. And then I also, let me show you what I got. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, so bear with me. But this is the dot system. I knew I was going to do that with that glue dot too. I'm going to set you over there. Please stay. Please stay. Don't attach to me. Let me set this over. I am loving that layout. So I got this dot system with my Notions order, and it's got different size little cubes and stuff. And so I went through all of my, those are the black ones from In Full Bloom. I added in my wood ones from my other set, and I've got those open now to add other things in. I moved my white flowers to here as well, and then the black ones that are from, I think that's from the In Full Bloom card kit. I don't remember the name of it. So I did that. I've got all my little hearts in this one. This is kind of a cute little one. See, it's got all these little hearts in there. So I'm not sure what my feelings are on this yet. It was a love-hate relationship putting this stuff in there. And so we'll have to see how that works out for me as as I use stuff, because that was the system that they had through Notions that I could try. So I'm hopeful that I will have some really cute stuff going on with those, like just being able to grab them and then they look so cute. And, gotta have cute storage. The other thing I was looking into was some paper storage because I'm trying to figure out how to keep my stuff that I'm currently working on as tidy as possible. That is proving to be a little harder than I anticipated. Usually I have a set of papers, I go upstairs with Nancy, we play, and then I, just kind of put it away. And after I'm finished, I put it in a box for my friend Lisa. And I haven't been doing that because I'm seeing online where people are, oh, I had this leftover paper. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I had that paper and I don't now. And that layout's so cute. So I'm trying to kind of save a little more for a little bit of a rainy day type thing. This is a learning experience. I really want that heart over here, but I put that glue dot down and I think I want it under the glue dot. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I like that. It's got a little bit of lift to it too. This is amazing. I love this paper. And like I said, these flowers are in that cut file below. They are just, I think if you have the subscription, you can cut them. I don't think that they were part of anything. I basically looked for flowers that were the 5 petals because there's 5 petals on this little flower. And so I wanted to kind of bring that into here. And by doing that, I just found like maybe 20 flowers that I thought might work, pulled them into there, and then just decided which ones I was going to use and which ones were going to go back into the later pile. I've now got about 10, 15 flowers that I want to use at some point. So I might have to get some layout stuff going with more flowers. Okay, on this one, I did want to put family 2011. I do not have the numbers. And I put the wood letters out first and I liked them, but then I put the white ones out and I'm not sure which way I'm going. I haven't figured that out yet. Okay, and actually, you know what? I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to pull my other mat over and I'm going to take, I love this. I'm so glad I'm doing this for me. This is totally a me layout. You know how normal people, not that, you all aren't normal, but you probably have, a favorite color and it's usually blue or pink. I rarely find people that like green like I do. So green is one of my favorite colors, and sage and kind of like the New England ivy. Those are the top ones I love to go with first. And then after that would probably be like a rosemary color. Not the clovers, those types of colors. Green apple has become one of those. Is that called green apple? I think it's green apple. That one's become one of my medium favorites, I guess I could say. I think it's called green apple. Let me look. Yep, green apple. Only because I like it for summer. I think that it does a really good job. Still not into the yellows too much, but I will say that Sundance and Nectarine have grown on me over this last few months. Still will choose probably to go more of a lagoon glacier route on those colors, but I'm glad that I'm broadening my horizons. And to me, the fact that I am using, well, I didn't use these pieces, but I've used so much of this paper. I know I cut the back of this to try and use it, and I still haven't done it. but using as much of this as I am so proud of myself because I rarely use the yellows in these sets. And so to use some of these yellows is really a nice little challenge for me. And I think I put that up higher than I wanted to go. Let me grab the biggest letter, which is that Y. Okay, I want to go just above that. There we go. And there it is. Let's grab that and make sure we're even. And like I said, the cut file for this will be down below. It has all of the pieces aside from the letters. If these letters are no longer available in the next catalog, I have a cut file for these letters, kind of. I traced them out. It's a little copying, but I did trace them out because I wanted them in different colors and a lot thinner. And my daughter was making a cut file for me. But what happened is I traced them kind of funky. I did these. I'll show you what I did. I went like that, and I just kind of was sloppy about it because I thought it wouldn't matter. And she said when she was making, oops, these bits kept getting in the way. So she was going to do it, and I don't know if she ever did it, but I'm hoping she did because I really wouldn't mind after they're no longer available through close to my heart having that file so that I can use some of those letters still, because I'm going to try to buy probably the white set. Surprisingly, I'm going to buy the numbers, but I think I'm going to buy like 2 more sets of those because it's a really a good thickness. I like how thin they are. Here, let me put them up together. See the difference in those? It's probably like 2 of these for 1 of this, maybe just 1.5, but it's quite a bit in height, which I'm trying to look for places that I can not have as large of a height difference on things, but have some. That doesn't even sound right, but just to kind of have, I like a little bit of height. I like a little bit of dimension. What I don't like is when it is too much. And then it takes the place of I can only have 1 or 2 layouts, that have any sort of dimension in my book because then they're too full. So anytime I can cut out on having something cute, but also having something that doesn't have that much of a dimension is great. Which I will mention, those little tutti frutti fruit thingies that Lizzie got, they are really thin. So those would be perfect as a sprinkle on a page. Just like she also got the hearts. What else did she get? She's gotten pretty much all of them. I've only bought, I want to say just those, the peppermint ones, which were not peppermint, they were orange. So I know that Kelly said that they went and they talked to people about that. So, okay, on this one, I did go in age order-ish. We've got Miranda, we've got Lizzie and Derek, we've got Allie, then we have me and Jason, which technically those should be switched because I'm older, but we're going to pretend he's older today. He looks older than me. He really doesn't. That is one thing I will say is neither of us have a lot of gray hair. And so it's kind of nice because when we say we have such old children, which I messed up yesterday, Miranda will be 27 tomorrow. I think I'm in denial. But yeah, for as old as our children are, we're doing pretty good. I am not pushing those down too much because I have a feeling I'm going to have to move them. Nope, that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to do the flowers first, and then I will work on the, oh no, did I? Oh, good. Okay, and then I will work on the family down here and see which one I like. Surprisingly, and I will recommend this to everybody, get a bright light and put it right above your desk. Like I've got 2 LED lights, and then I don't think I turned this one on. Let me turn this one on. Yeah. And I have 3 LED lights. One's a little bar that just goes on my monitor. The other 2 are ones I got to go with the camera. They help. Also download, I don't even know what this program's called that Jace got me. Download some kind of a program. Get a little camera and download a program that you can look at, because when you're looking up, you see things a little more clearer than when you're just kind of looking down at your layout. That's kind of something I didn't ever think about. Okay, I've got one with the glue dot. Let's grab this one. I'm gonna have to do some of these flowers with this pink part too, because it's really pretty. That paper is very pretty. All these papers are. My goodness, if you haven't gotten this set yet, get it. I recommend this so much. It is such a wonderful set. So many pretty things. And definitely get extras of the die cuts and the cardstock, the coordinating cardstock, because you can use that with anything. In fact, I'd say that is my top tip for this catalog, this current one. If you even at a hint like this paper, I would get that coordinating cardstock in as many as you can. So see what I've got 3 sets right now. I'm probably going to order at least another 3 sets of that. Okay, I know I had some glue dots. I know they're here. There they are. This little plastic matches. It blends in with everything because everything's kind of black around here. And I forgot to put the leaf under. Darn it. There we go. I like it still. Okay, I am going to trim this again. And I'm just trimming right there. Not too much off. Just enough that I don't have to deal with the stem and I can put it in afterwards. This one I probably could have put in beforehand, but I like the way it looks when it's not too shoved down. So I'm just cutting off that little bit. Let's see here. I want this one to go this way. And I do like the fact that this is the same color on both sides. The back side is not like a white. And so I can flip these either way and they look fantastic. Okay, we've got 2 little flowers now. Let me grab a couple more of this. I'm just going to go like that. And then struggle to get the paper off. I know there's got to be a better way of getting glue dots, but I have not figured that out. Let's see here. I kind of wanted these like the other one where they were just kind of in the area, but not necessarily a part of everything. I seriously think this is my favorite. Until tomorrow when I do something and I'll be like, oh, this is my new favorite. I don't know if it can beat this one though. This paper, oh my God, I love this paper. Okay, so that's what I'm doing up there. Now, I could stick a heart over here. I kind of wanted a heart down here on both sides. I'm not sure about that one. Now let's put the wood one down here. I am using that F. Let's see if I can spell. Another place for a heart would be right there. I do like my little hearts up there. Okay, but I need to make sure, and this is the hard part, is I don't know how big the numbers are. I have no clue. Actually, I take that back. Nancy had a set of the numbers, and I did trace those. Lizzie has all that stuff, and of course, it's not usable. But I don't really have a good bearing. I'm going to assume. Let's see, what numbers am I going to use? I'm going to use 2011. So the 0 is probably going to be close to the same size as the 0 or the O. Let me see if I can find it. There's one. Okay. The 1 would probably be a smidge bigger than the I. So what letter? Do I want to, maybe the T? What if I've got 2 T's? I don't know if I have 2 left. Oh, there is one. Well, if it went like that, I think that would be good for placement. And then the 2, I wonder if the Z would be kind of close to that, or maybe the S. Let's take the S. Okay, so if I put the S correctly, I got what? Soat. Okay, so that's the space that I'm kind of going to save for the numbers when I get them. I need to move this down a smidge. I don't think I can put the hearts over here. I can, but they have to go under the letter. Okay, let me get this in place. And then, so our 2011-ish, that there. Okay, that would give enough room. Let me look at that. I like that letter. I do like that font. I'm going to try it with white and see if I like that better. I definitely like how much thinner it is. I'm really fighting that. I wish they could do the wood with the thin size. And maybe they'll come up with something because I know everybody's liking the thinner size. Also, I'm kind of hoping they come up with more letters that are, I think I have to go with the white. I think I like the white better. Darn it. I want to use these wood ones because I have them. But I think that's a good spacing. So let's see here. If I keep that a little closer just to be safe. And that gives me, if I put these at the very end, I think I can make that work. Wow, I love these layouts. Love them. Okay, let me toss my stuff over there and let's put some little bits of adhesive here. The other thing I was kind of thinking about doing, I'm not going to do it today because it's got to be a trial and error thingy and I've got to have some time. Oh, don't move, please go back. I am making a hot mess right now. Okay, let me get my adhesive remover. Is to use my Xyron and see if that works with these letters at all. Because that would be an interesting concept if I was able to use the Xyron to put these on. Okay, there we go. Not perfect, but better than where I was starting with. But yeah, it would be interesting if we can use a Xyron on these little letters. And this M to me almost looks like the McDonald's arches. I know. The R and the K are kickers, and the M is McDonald's. The only other thing I would change is figuring out something better with the Y. I wish the Y wasn't so big. I don't know what they could do in its place. Honestly, I have no clue. But I do wish the Y was a little more, I don't know, I don't know what they could do. Although a cute font, and maybe they'll come up with another font too, would be to have these letters smaller and have the Y kind of dip down below them. That would be kind of cute. But every time I put the Y lower, it looks funny. It doesn't look right because it's not taking up the same space. So I don't know what the answer is there. I have no clue. I just know I want something different with the Y. It's kind of like what right now when you go in the grocery store and you know something's weird, but it's not really apparent how weird things are. So, but then you realize that it's just because it's just COVID stuff still. Okay, so I didn't use the wood alphabets. I did use the white acrylic ones. I will be ordering the white acrylic numbers to match this and having 2011 over here because that's the year that this was all going down. And then let me grab that other layout, get all this other stuff put away. My bottle of water. Okay. So bear with me though, because this does not have the 2011 there, but I think it turned out amazing. It's a great starting point. The only thing I might do, I think that needs that little bit here of that. Let me grab that real quick. Here it is. And my trimmer is on the other side, of course. And again, see, I just cut that, but I know that if I'm putting it on there, which I might have to put it around there, I'm just going to go here to that, and I took off 3/4 of an inch instead of the other way around. Okay, now let's see here. It's kind of too big, but if I move that over a smidge, it would probably be fine. Okay, we're going to do some surgery and hope for the best. With those little glue dots, it might not work out as well as I would like. I'll have to get some more out to kind of fix what I took off. Okay, come on, baby. Come on. You'll be covered. Okay, let me grab my score tape, my most unforgiving tape. Man, if you're doing a box or something, oh, speaking of that, I have to do some of those. This is the best tape to be using for something like that. A little bit of score tape. Yeah, that finishes that area off better. Okay, grab my ruler. And let's see, that took up 1/4, so I can go in 1/4 of an inch on each side, which is approximately there. Cover that. Yeah, looks pretty good. Okay, and grab glue dots that I set over here. I know I had a couple that were of a different set, like that weren't used, but I don't know where I set them. Okay, put that back up there. Don't move. And put this one. In fact, I'm going to add this bit right there so that it's got that that heart back there. Oh yeah, that finishes that off much better. The only other thing I would say would be if I was to continue that to that, but I think that that's too much. And this will be, you know, yay apart, so it's not going to look that odd. I think this turned out really great. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. And I love these little guys that just, I think, made those flowers look even better. And I think I want to put a glue dot. Let me see if I've got one. Nope, not on that one. Because that's the lower one with just the glue dot. I think I want to put a glue dot down there and have that piece stay. This is going to be hard to get off. It's fighting. It's fighting to stay on there. I'm going to just stick that kind of back there and force that down a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Because this one's behaving. This one was being a little wonky donk. So again, now that I've touched it up again, I'm happy with this. All I have to add is that 2011 here. This is for my book, which I'm kind of excited. So I'm excited. I'm going to have a book with my family in it. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come play today. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you would love to see more of my videos. Leave a comment. I always appreciate those, and I try to get back as soon as possible on those. And have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.